Dragon Consulting, and I want to welcome you to this week's video. So if you've been with me before, then thank you for coming back. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome. And if you like what you see, feel free to hit the subscribe button. So today I want to talk about new IT projects and the fact that new IT projects are coming at us at an unbelievable pace and that they come from multiple different intake sources. So we want to make sure that with all the different sources that are coming at us in the healthcare environment, that we have a pretty broad spectrum of awareness about where they're coming from. So we don't want to miss anything, and we want to make sure that in order to not miss things or to be caught off guard by things, that we have something in place to understand where they're all coming from. So in my experience, there's 5 main starting points for projects that involve technology in the healthcare industry. So let's take a look at what those are. So first up, and these are in no particular order, I just sort of needed to number them for sequence. But first up is updates to regulation or policy. So either changes in legislation for the area that you are living in, or to organizational policies for the department or for the company that you work with. Examples of this might be updates to the new privacy and security laws like GDPR coming into play for the European Union. They may indicate adjustments of scope of practice. So we're seeing some of those changes sort of around the world with pharmacists, NPs, and other different roles that are coming in. So as we use osteopaths a bit more and as we sort of incorporate different roles into things, we've got some adjustments in scope. And new reporting requirements that are in place by oversight bodies. So not necessarily things that are legislative, but registry subscriptions that we're working with, or research projects, oversight bodies that are tracking just general outcomes, things like that. We've got new reporting requirements that are coming into play all the time. So the second one is market demand. As technology continues to evolve and as technology comes to play a higher and higher role within people's lives, the public are increasing their expectations for healthcare. So they are increasing their interaction requirements. They are looking for initiatives that have more patient engagement involved. They want to participate in things. They want to use apps to schedule their own appointments. They want to look up ratings on different providers. They want to compare costs. They want to actually interact with technology in a different way than they did before. And they have increasing expectations of the healthcare organizations to provide that information to them. So the third one that I want to talk about today is change in business or technical strategy. So as organizations evolve, as they grow, as they sort of merge together, as they morph over time, there's changes in strategic goals and initiatives, and that often has an impact on technology. So some examples where business strategies might change would be updates to service offerings, sort of rolling out new types of services that are offered or adjusting levels of services, change in business structure. So a merger and acquisition, partnerships that are formed, things like that can have changed. Transitions to new platforms. So there can be a strategy to obtain or achieve outcomes that require a shift to a new platform. So those types of things can also be incorporated. Fourth up is improvement initiatives. So these are initiatives to improve either patient outcomes and or to increase workflow efficiency. So they can be internal or external. These days, they very, very often, if not always, involve some form of IT change or IT involvement. They can be things that we're looking at to improve key performance indicators. They can be general improvements and user satisfaction. They can process change, results of lean studies and things like that. You can have sort of a multitude of improvement, just general usability. So end users coming forward and sort of indicating that a sequence is better than what's presented to them, things like that. So improvement initiatives as an overall is a pretty big bucket for change. And the last source for IT project intake that we need to sort of be mindful of is maintaining operational status quo. So a lot of organizations will call projects that fit into this category KTLO, or keep the lights on projects. And these are things to sort of maintain the existing technology, functionality, and technical infrastructure as it stands today. So not necessarily making things sort of adding new things, but just maintaining what we've got right now requires IT involvement. So modifications or upgrades to infrastructure to maintain performance. As we have technology changes over time, there's upgrades to operating systems that need to happen. There's new sort of key patches and things that need to go in. There's also different requirements that come along so that things can function better. We also have application upgrades to maintain support and our maintenance contract agreements. So very often in software contracts, if we're procuring software from outside, there is stipulations in the contract agreement that indicates that you need to be on the current version or within a number of previous versions in order for your support and maintenance to be offered. And if you fall outside of that, then there's penalties either with limited support or financial increases in the support costs. So things like that will sort of drive your need to initiate KTLO projects. So again, in summary, there is a multiple sort of array of places that new projects and initiatives can come forward to IT, and we want to make sure that we're aware of what all of those are. So the five, in my experience, tend to be the categories that you see up on the screen. So updates to regulation, market demand, changes in strategy, general improvement initiatives, and KTLO maintenance projects. So thank you, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you like what you see. Bye.